شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وعلى أصحاب محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، يسأل أخ كريم عن قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: طوبى للغرباء. فطوبى للغرباء هذه حديث من حديث، جزء من حديث. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: وحسب علمي الآن أذكرك، إن كنت نسيت شيء فبلا يعفو عنا وعنه، ولكن الحديث صحيح. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا كما بدأ، وطوبى للغرباء. في هناك روايتين التي يفسرون ما أفسد الناس أو ما يفسد الناس. غرباء دول ليصلحون ما يفسد الناس، ما أفسد الناس. ورواية أخرى أن يصلحون عند فساد الناس. هذه رواية. يعني هذا كله قصة أو أطوار التي مر بها البشرية، العالم كله، حتى وصل إلى رسالة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأن سنة الله لا تتغير ولا تبدل. قال تعالى: فامتثل سنة الله تبديلا وتجد سنة الله تحويلا. الناس في الشرك الأول ما يعترفون بالرسل ولا بالكتب، لأن في كتب أنزلت طبعا قبل القرآن العظيم، في الزبور على داود عليه السلام، وفي التوراة على موسى عليه السلام، وفي الإنجيل على عيسى عليه السلام، وصحف إبراهيم وموسى كذلك، من الأشياء التي أمر الله بها أمورا ونواهي، أمور وطرق، وكما جاء في الأحاديث الصحيحة بيان هذه الأمور. فالناس كانوا مشركين: إن وجدنا آباءنا على أمة وإنا على آثارهم لمهتدون أو لمقتدون. سورة الآية فأذكر الله. فهكذا، وإذا كانوا كما أنزل الله فما أنزل عليه آباءنا، أو لو كان آباؤهم يعلمون شيئا ولا يهتدون. ومثل الذين كفروا كمثل الذين يأكل ما يسمع إلا دعاء نداء ثم بكم من فهم لا يعقلون. يعني ربنا مثل هؤلاء فكراعي حال الإبل الذي ينعق وتمشي وراءه الإبل، لا يسمعون داء لا يسمعون إلا هؤلاء الإبل تمشي وراء الحال كما لا يقول له، كما أوضح لها. فمثلهم بذلك لأنهم لا يعترفون بالرسل ولا بالكتب. فعلى لما جاء الرسل كذبوه، يعني تكلم في رسالة الرسول محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم كمثال أنه خاتم الرسل والأنبياء صلى الله عليه وسلم، ففيه الكفاية. خططهم. أيضا عشان نصير عليكم أن الرسل هكذا كلما جاء رسول كذبوا. والآية تقول إيه؟ وانطلق الملأ منهم أن امشوا واصبروا على آلهتكم إن هذا شيء يراد لا تنال بهذا فإننا في الآخرة هذا إلا اختلاق. أولا ذكر عين بينهم في نفس الذكر فلما يذوقوا عذاب في الآخر أجعل أداك إلها واحدا أو في الآية أو الآية ذلك شيء عجلان. هم هنا دخلوا إيه؟ يعني ما يخلوش عن الرسالة لا يختلفون بها، إنما عاوزين الآلهة تكون متعددة ما شبه واحد. ولهم إله، ولا يعتقد مسلم يفهم دينه أن المشركين ما كانش يعترفوا بالإله إلا خطأ. كانوا يعترفون بإله بس له شركاء. ما ينفعش الإله من غير شركاء. ولكن الرسل يكلمون دينهم لأن في التزام، ما تعودوا على التزام. افعل أو لا تفعل، افعل أو اترك، يأمروا بأمر وترك، أوامر ونواهي. فلم يتعودوا على ذلك وكانوا إيه؟ ماشيين بهذا التزام. فربنا ما يتلعبش يقول من الإسلام غريبا. طبعا لأن هذا غريب عليه. واتبعوا الخير عليه آباءنا. أو يبقى ذلك الآية. أو كان أبونا عقل شيء ولا يهتدون. ويشمشوا الآباء، الأبوة ما تعرفش حاجة تمشي وراه. لا. فالإسلام جعل المسلم شخصية وأكرمه بالدين الصحيح. فالخلق وقدرنا بني آدم ورحمناه بالبر والبحر ورزقناه وفضلناه فيما خلقنا تفسير. فالدين بإيه؟ هذا الدين العظيم. فالمؤمن هكذا، ولكن دون إيه؟ كما جاء في الحديث كما غريبا سيعود غريبا كما بدأ. والآن ما غريب صارت السنوة وطلع الناس الألد، كثرت الفتن والناس تتسيد تتبع هواهم. فالآن كل يوم يزداد الناس في هذا المجمع، كل بعض على رسالة كما فطوبى الغرباء. ثم يعني دي قيل الجنة وقيل شجرة الجنة مسيرة كذا عام تمشي تحتها. المهم دي عادة مش كل واحد ياخدها. دول غرباء دول بس بيثبتوا بعدين الصحيح. غرباء ايه؟ ايش الاجتهاد ويبقى صوفي؟ لا. يبقى الاجتهاد يبقى اشعري؟ لا. يبقى معتزلي؟ لا. يبقى خالدي؟ لا. يبقى قدري؟ لا. وما تبرع منهم كل ده. لأن عند القرآن في المسلمين والمؤمنين وفي الكفار والمبتدعة اللي هم الخالفين اللي اتبعوا الفرع. تفرقت الأمة إلى 73 يخلق الله في النار إلا واحد. مش كافر، مش كافر، لا يكفر المسلم إلا إذا جحد على علم توفر الشروط انتفاء الموانع. لكن هو هجري، هو من أهل الفرع. وكما قال الكافر كلها في النار إلا واحد. الواجب كعادة البيت، الواجب بين أهل والله. الناس اللي هم لا يلقون بالا للتفرق ده، بل ذات أمر كوني من الله. ربنا قضى كون أمر كونيا، هذا كونيا حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب. المستحل للمسلمين للفرق دي. ولأن ما خلق ورسول الخبيث الذي تعتدل تحدث عنها وتنبأ بها نبأه الله بها. كلها قدر إلا واحد. فلما جعلت التدينة بالنسبة للكفار فلا بالنسبة لأفعال الدين الغني، بالنسبة للمعتزلة الدين الغني والمرجئ والقدر وهكذا. ليه؟ لأنك أنت ماشي على الصراط المستقيم واحد بس، مفيش غيره. يديله امتحانات كبيرة شوية عشان يرضى عليك يجيب على أجر حتى لا يفتنهم رحمة من ربك الله تعالى. هذا كله بيان واضح، كل واحد مؤمن يعرف. مين يعرف كلام المؤمنين؟ مين المؤمنين؟ اللي يقعدوا مع الشيخ الموحد المؤمن يبلغوا كتب العلم، هذا مؤمن. طلاب العلم مع بعضهم كانت تقدر يعرف ألف كلام القهوة والدمرة بالكوتشينة والكورة بالروايات يا الحاجات ده أغلب الناس وصلت دي حتى لو كان مصرف، ولكنه تخليد لأبي والأشياء ليس اتباع. وقل لك يا وسيعة لا تقول لك شيخ انت تبع الشيخ فلان، لا قل له انا لست تابع الشيخ، انا تابع للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ولست مقلد. والشيخ فوق العين والراس. لان العلماء ورثه الانبياء فلازم لهم تخبير وياخذ منهم بالكتاب والسنه بالدليل كما كتب عبد الوهاب يجب على كل مسلم ان يعرف دينه ويعرف رسوله ويعرف ربه اولا بالادله ويتعلم ويؤمن بها ويعمل بها ويدعو اليها ويصبر على الدعوه فيها. فكان الامر غريب وانت بنفسك ترى الناس كلهم انت كم عدد السلفيين من النجم الاخرين قريب لا يعد على الاطراف النجم الاخرين. ألست كذلك؟ كم عندكم سلفي؟ كم في مصر سلفي من السلف؟ كم في الجزائر؟ كم في تونس؟ كم في البلاد كلها؟ سلفي أقل قليل والناس ينظروا نظرة غير سليمة ولا يأخذ من كلامه إلا من أراد الله له ذلك. كما قال تعالى أورثنا الكتاب الذي اصطفينا من عبادنا فيجعلنا من الظالم نفسه غير منفصل. لو كان مخالفين لله ذلك الفضل الكبير جنات عدن يدخلها سيد عتيب انهار الحلبة مكان من ذلك والزمع الاشهب بحرير. فهيئا لكم على السنين سبب اتقيتم هيئا لكم ان تكونوا قد اصطفاكم دون الخلق. سبقوا ليه الخلق عملتهم فقالتهم وما كانت رعاوة المؤمنين وتتعشى بأرضك عن سبيل الله كذلك الآيات أنت قليل من كثير كالشعر إلى السوق الأجمل كما جاء في بعض الروايات. والله أعلم. هذا كله أيها الناس يسلعون نفس الناس من بدع وخرافات وذل واتباع الأهواء ومخالفات مقبلت أو يسلكون عند فساد الناس. فسد الناس وفسادهم بالعقيدة والمنهج ضاعت الحياة كلها. الفساد هي والعصر إن الإنسان يأتي الصبح الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات تواصوا بالحق تواصوا بالصبر. فهذه كلها كما قال لما شافت قضى الله له يوم أذن بأن وأن هذه السورة على المؤمنين والمسلمين كفاهم. هذا كله بيان بقدر يذكر الله به فكل واتقوا الله الذي نفسي جزاكم الله خير تكون الله من الحمد وأرجو أن تدعوا للتوفيق والسداد وجزاكم الله خير وأنصحكم ونفسي تقوى الله والصبر على المعصية والصبر على الطاعة كما قال القلب. كل واحد يعرف قدره، كل واحد مؤمن يعرف ميزان دول سننزله عليك كبير. تتكلم في أشياء لا يقدر أن يسير فيها صعب عليه، لا اصبر وتعلم ولا يعلمك أن تقول أنا لا أعلم. نصف العلم كما قال الشافعي ولكن يعلمك أنك تقول كلام لا تعلم ولا تمشي وراء إخوانك يكون كلام ليس عليه. لا أنت مسؤول عن نفسك. تقول الشيخ فلان أعرف لا أعرف وغيره يخطئ ما كنتش عندك حد كده اسأل غيره. انت لأنك الثقة أو بالهاتف الحج والعمر. لا ماذا؟ إن كان حصل هذا يخرجك لما كسر يا أخي. أنت تريد العلم تنزل لك وأشياء أخرى. لا، فليس الأمر مجرد معرفة، مجرد معرض علم بناس وعمل صالح حكم رب جل علما يرفع الله يعمل طريقة العلم درجات تأخذوني على الإثارة وبارك الله فيكم. أنا متعت لكم فرصة حتى أسمع الجميع هنا وهناك في كل العالم. فهذه المواضيع الشرعية هي مواضيع أهل السنة والجماعة الموثقة بأصول الشرع. فهي أنكم جزاكم الله خيرا وشكر الله لكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
بارك الله فيك يا شيخنا.
جزاكم الله. كلام مفهوم يا أخي؟
جزاك الله خير يا شيخ حسن. بارك الله فيك.
أي خدمة الله يحفظك. فهموا الكلام ولا أعود بحاجة ثانية؟
جزاكم الله خير يا شيخ. أنا إن شاء الله هون معاني الآيات ما رشح الكتاب الكامل من باب التيسير الآن.
نعم.
إن شاء الله هنقول معاني الآيات، هنقول معاني الآيات اللي ما كتبتها بالكامل من باب التيسير.
عايز مني شيء؟
بارك الله فيك يا شيخنا.
إذا تسمعني يا أخي تبارك الله، قلت العيلة بس يعني.
جزاكم الله خير.
أكرمكم الله.
وعليكم
الشيخ
السلام.
حسن هنا؟ أخ حسن هنا؟
نعم يا شيخنا الحمد لله.
واتقوا الله. لا كل الإخوة جزاكم الله خيرا شيخ الله لكم. قل على هذا الكلام ده إذا تنتهي شيء تراجعوني وأنا بخدمتكم.
جزاكم الله خير يا شيخ.
وجزاك الله خير وأستودعكم الله وسألت السماع والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. يوسف. نعم أبدأ. Shall I start? Talk to me. Dr. Abdul, you there? Thank you. Shaykh Hasan, shall I start? I'm not still on my phone because I'm on the phone now. Okay, yeah, تفضل. Thank you. Shaykh Allah started by saying Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, and I bear witness there's no Lord worthy of worship alone without any partner except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I bear witness that Muhammad is Sayyid and Messenger. May Allah take the line here, Yusuf.
Sorry, start over. I'm sorry.
Bismillah, Alhamdulillah. And I bear witness to Shaykh Hasan started by saying Bismillah, Alhamdulillah. I bear witness there is no Lord worthy of worship alone without any partner except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad is Sayyid and Messenger. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send peace and blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to raise him in rank and grant him peace for him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his family and his companions. The Shaykh Allah started by saying that the brother is asking about the statement of the Prophet ﷺ that is known in the hadith, last tidings to the strangers. And this actually part of the hadith. According to my memory, as the Shaykh said, and according to my knowledge, the hadith states that Islam has started as a strange, and it will come back strange. Islam started strange, and it will come back strange, so the last tidings to the strangers. And there are two different narrations for this hadith, where the hadith will conclude by saying the strangers will fix from what the Shaykh quoted, or what it means, inshallah, it's upon you who's listening to kind of shut it down, write it down, and inshallah go back and look it up. As the Shaykh Abdullah mentioned several ayat regarding the matter that the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to rectify what people have changed, or came to rectify and straighten what people have deviated from. Mankind before Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had so many messengers of prophets. Those who came with the books, the like of the Zabur, the Torah, and the Injil, the Bible. And it was from the matter that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded with and forbade from, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather revealed matters that He commanded with and forbade from. Also mentioned in so many hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how people used to be upon polytheism. As he quoted from the ayah what it means that we have found our fathers upon that, and we are walking upon their footsteps. We have found our fathers upon this, meaning shirk or polytheism, and we are walking upon their footsteps. And the Shaykh Abdullah also quoted the ayah, and those who are upon shirk, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about them, that they were like, they were like an animal, or like an animal making sound and do not understand. They were like animals making sounds and do not understand what they do and what they live for. They were more like livestock, walking behind their caretaker and do whatever the caretaker tells them. And why is that? Because they never confessed to the messages that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them. They never confessed to what the messages of the Prophet brought to them. And they never agreed with the books that were revealed to them. And this is why our Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala told us so much about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the Quran. And told us that he was the seal of all messengers of prophets. In this alone, the Shaykh said, should suffice all mankind to understand that Islam is the religion to be upon. The Quran has so much news and stories and things that happened before us and things that will happen after us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it's in the Quran. And the Shaykh again quoted several ayats regarding this, in which the Quran has the news of what used to be before you and what will come after you. And another ayah, the Quran has gathered and comprehended or collected and made it understandable to mankind by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So every matter that is beneficial to mankind in their religion and their beliefs as well as their worldly affairs is mentioned in the Quran. The Quran is a plan for your lifetime. The Quran shows you the value of time. As the Shaykh quoted and said, you hear the disbelievers in your land saying time is gold. But in reality, in Islam, time is more precious than gold. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that you yourself as a believer upon what your Lord has told you, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your Lord, to be upon that before you die. Islam perseveres and it strives you as a believer to be very precious upon your time, more than anybody else would say. Alhamdulillah, our religion includes all of the above, by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectifies mankind. And mankind can only be rectified by the permission of Allah by correcting the belief and the religion that is Islam. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, and whoever believes in Allah, Allah will guide his heart and will make him live an honorable life, and will make him live or survive an honorable life. Despite all of the planning and the plotting of the disbelievers, and despite all of their actions that will not equate to anything in regards to this belief, meaning Islam. Every time a messenger came to disbelievers or the people of shirk, they lied upon him. As the Shaykh Abdullah quoted also from the Quran again, the ayah in which states what it means, and I don't have the ayah complete, so I'm going to skip that ayah, in which the Shaykh explained the ayah rather by saying, they were not just talking about the message that came to them through a messenger or prophet, because they don't consist to the messengers or the prophets, but rather they wanted several deities to worship along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The people of Shirk knew what Allah is, but yet they wanted partners for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why they relied upon the messengers and prophets, because they don't want to stick to the guidelines that those messengers and prophets came with from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every messenger and every prophet came with commands and prohibitions. This is what Allah wanted them to tell all mankind. But the people were not used to that, and did not want to get used to this. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, how the messenger prophets complained to him about their own people, that they would not suffice by what is unknown to them. They would not suffice by what is unknown to them, meaning by what Allah had revealed to His messengers and prophets. And they said, we're gonna only go in accordance to what we have got used to through our forefathers. As the Shaykh said, does this mean you're only gonna do what your father used to do? You're just gonna walk behind your dad? Islam is the only religion that gives you a character as a man or a woman and made you into a human being. This deen is mighty religion. That is the way a believer is, in accordance with this mighty religion. But they, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet mentioned the hadith, but they, meaning the believers, as the Prophet mentioned the hadith of glad-tidings to the strangers, that Islam came as strange and will return strange. Look around you, my dear brothers and sisters. So much trials and tribulations are happening around you. People are loose regarding all of the conditions of billah. The further they are from the message of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the more glad tidings for those who are strangers, for those who stick to the message of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the word Tuba, as the Shaykh mentioned in the hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Tuba is a word that refers to paradise or heavens. And also Tuba refers to a tree in the paradise that the believers would be shaded by in the hereafter. The strangers, those who are firm and know what is correct religion. We're not talking here about Sufi. We're not talking about Ash'ari. We're not talking about Mu'tazili or Khariji. We're not talking about Qadari. And we're not talking about anybody that branched away from these groups and sects. The Quran is straightforward, my dear brothers and sisters. It has Muslims, and Mu'mineen, believers, and Kuffar, disbelievers. So what happened to the innovators? The Shaykh is asking you the rhetorical question, what happened to the innovators? Here comes the hadith of Muhammad explaining that to you. That my nation, or the nation, meaning the Muslims, will break down in 73 groups. So those 73 groups, my dear brothers and sisters, as the Shaykh has explained, are not upon this belief, except, as the Shaykh said, the famous quote in the Sharia of Muhammad except that they negated all the religion upon knowledge, fulfilling the conditions, and fulfilling also the prohibitions regarding that. In the hadith of Muhammad regarding the 73 groups, from those who are from good. And all of these groups, my dear brothers and sisters, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about them, they know who created them. He is Al-Alim al-Khabir. So going back to the hadith again, they all would be in the hellfire except for one. That's what the disbelievers get. They're not worked by the proof. The people of Sunnah are not Taraweesh in this dunya. They're not just loosely going around pretending to be upon religion or the billah. They're not just making salah and fasting and saying sunnah and bid'ah. That is not the people of sunnah and the people of bid'ah claim about us, but rather the people of sunnah are the highest, the most horrible mankind and upon this earth. And if any authentic statement, or any statement rather, any hadith comes from the Prophet ﷺ, you will find the people of Sunnah are the first to say that it's a weak hadith, letting the people know that it is a weak hadith. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the believers, that those who want to believe will make him live an honorable life. In another ayah, that he will never be misguided and will never have a hardship. And why is that? Because a man or a woman upon the Sunnah has from the knowledge, the sciences, and other than that, from the manners of this life, as well as the manners of hereafter, what suffices him or her to live an honorable life. He will not, or she will not face hardship. Because, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, even if he or she is tested, they're upon belief. They have strength in their iman. And the more strength in their iman or their belief in the religion, the more that Allah would test them. And the lesser the strength that they have, or the weaker they are in the religion, Allah would treat them accordingly. So the believers, those who sit with the scholars, that are upon tawheed, that are upon belief, those who are seeking the knowledge with the scholars, as well as with the students of knowledge. Not those with ayatah billah, who are sitting in coffee shops playing cards, or watching football, or other than that. Even if they make salah and fasting. If somebody comes to you and say, you can just follow Shaykh so-and-so, tell him that is not true. I do not follow Shaykh so-and-so, but rather, I follow the Prophet ﷺ. And the Shaykh is a man with knowledge that we honor. He is more dear to us than our own eyes and our own intellect. He is our connection to learn the inheritance of Muhammad ﷺ. So it's a must upon every Muslim to know his Lord, and to know his religion, and to know his messenger with the proofs, as is known or has been told by Shaykh Hasan ibn Abdul in the three fundamental principles. And after knowing his Lord, his religion, his messenger with the proofs, he must act upon it, and go to it, and be patient upon calling in it, or calling to it. Look around you, my dear brother and sister. How many Salafis are there in comparison to the rest of the Muslims? There are very few and far in between. No matter what country you go to, the Salafis are far and few in between. If you go to lands like Algeria, Tunisia, and other than that from other countries and nations, that is the way it is with the Salafis. The numbers are far and few in between. And the people sometimes look at them as if they are not even Muslims. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you, we have made this book as inheritance for those that we have chosen from amongst our slaves or amongst our servants. To the end of this ayat. So amongst our servants, those who are limited to the obligations, and those who are transgressing against their own selves, so they have to be left to the end of the ayat. So it is the sunnah, my dear brothers and sisters. Look at yourself and compare yourself to the sunnah. What is your condition? If you are upon righteousness and have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while the most of the people around you are against the sunnah or far from the sunnah, then you know where you're at. You, as a believer, must learn and comprehend so many of the verses of Allah. You are so few and far in between, like a white hair or a black bowl. This is the way of the believers. They rectify what people have corrupted, and people came about with innovations. They rectify what people have come up about with khurafat, transgression, following the whims and desires, and other than that. They rectify the affairs, or bring about the righteousness, and bring about the authentic religion when people around them are corrupt. And corruption that we keep talking about is corruption in aqidah, in belief, and manhaj, methodology. As the Shafi'i, rahimahullah, mentioned in Rasul al-Thalatha, was quoted Rasul al-Thalatha by saying about Surah al-Asr, as the Shaykh mentioned Surah al-Asr today, he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed only the Surah al-Asr, from the believers, it would have sufficed them. This is all just a small bayan of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made easy for me. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for me and you a tawfiq for sadat, firmness and success. And I advise myself and you to have taqwa of Allah and be patient upon the obedience and be patient away from sinning. Each one of us also, the Shaykh said, must know his value and must know his status. And do not talk in any matter that you do not know thoroughly what it's about. It's not to be held against you to say that I do not know. Just like Shaykh Rahimahullah said, and do not take the speech from your brothers without a dalil, without a proof. And if you don't have the dalil, ask those who are trustworthy. If you don't have somebody close by to ask who are trustworthy, call somebody who's trustworthy. But do not talk in accordance with your whims and desires. It's just that we've heard, for example, some people saying those vaccinations are harmful to you. So they stayed away from taking vaccinations to the point you couldn't even go to Hajj or Umrah. My dear brother, ask your brothers, do not be limited in your knowledge, but rather expand in your knowledge and say, and always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, invoke upon your Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying, Rabbi zidni ilma, my Lord increase me in knowledge. And the Shaykh said that, excuse me for taking so long, I have given this advice to you and to myself before you, and taking the chance so everybody listen in accordance to the balance of the Sharia Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I say, Jazakumullah khairan, and may Allah reward you for all of your striving and perseverance. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If there was anything that I've said, please come back to me and correct me. Barakallahu feekum. And if I've said that I've said anything that I've said that is correct is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and anything that I've said that is not correct is only from myself and or from the shaitan. And forgive me for not translating all of the ayat one by one. As you probably can tell, the Shaykh was a little too fast for me as usual. Allah ta'ala alam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.